At it again, folks. Welcome back to According to Blake. Today's guest, while yes, a TikTok heartthrob, is truly even more than that. He is a life coach, a mental health advocate, an LGBTQIA advocate, all around truly a guy that so many of us admire. I am so excited to be in conversation today with Obio Jones. So you know you're TikTok's heartthrob.
Oh, stop it.
I know they're going to scream when you pop on the camera.
I love TikTok.
Okay, so you just moved to LA.
Yeah. I think I'm going on almost 3 months.
Okay, what's it giving? Do you like it?
I like it. My intro was interesting. I booked the show my first 3 weeks here. So I'm going to be on the next season of a show on Netflix.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that before he got here. So is that what made you move?
No. It was literally in Atlanta. God was like, I need you to get up out of here. And I was like, okay, where do you want me? And LA came in my spirit. I was like, okay. And then I packed up my home in Atlanta, my townhouse. So
how quickly was that? What was the time span?
I moved in like 3.5 weeks. I called my friend. I was like,
oh,
yo.
God really spoke to you.
Yeah, I called my friend. I was like, yo, FaceTime me, go to some apartments, just show me how to look at the inside. He found it. I came out here on a whim. I got an email to audition for the show that I was on, and then I just sent in a self-tape, and then that got moving, and then we're just like, let's just see what else happens.
So can you tell me scripted or non-scripted?
Scripted.
Has this been a dream of yours, acting?
I think I didn't really grow up with dreams, right? I grew up just like wanting to be safe, wanting to be good in the world, but I didn't grow up like I want to be this, right? And so I think as I navigate the world, I'm just like, whatever hits, whatever I'm feeling in this season.
Do you know if there's a reason for you not really having dreams? I've never heard anybody phrase it like that.
Yeah, I think my parents weren't the most financially stable. And so I think it was more like, I just want to make sure that I have money. I want to make sure that I do a thing that can keep me safe financially. And so that was my main priority.
And so now that you're here and thriving, you're doing more than surviving.
Yeah.
There's more than surviving.
God is good.
How does it feel being out here doing that? We get such mixed reviews about LA. You know, I live in New York. You came from Atlanta. The girls either love LA or they really think it is the worst place on earth.
Isn't that most cities though? Like, don't they just either love or hate New York, love or hate Atlanta, love or hate Miami?
I'm starting to hate New York, so yeah.
I feel like LA has a very, I'm here to become a star.
Of course.
And I think if that's your motive, then it works. And if you come here to build community, I can see you being like, I haven't found my community just yet. You know, I found like that I already knew and I'm building stronger bonds with. You know what I mean? That social media energy, but I haven't been like, oh yeah, my tribe is here.
And that's important.
But tough.
You'll find it. 3 months is no time.
3 months is no time, but I think social media rushes things a little bit, right? Because you're not moving this on a clean slate. You're moving in people who you're kind of like actually meeting, you kind of already feel like you know.
So how is that? I was actually just having this conversation with my friends because I have friends.
I love that.
Friends who I've been friends with forever. I said on another podcast that I was on, I was like, I'm not looking for friends. I am that fulfilled in my friendships.
That is such a good place to be.
But the social media aspect, sometimes like, let's be friends. And I know you deal with that too.
And I feel like it is tough because similar, I have frat brothers. I mean, I have the whole thing.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? You have sorority sisters. And so I think it becomes like, I use the language. If you're a colleague, you're a colleague. If you're a friend, you're a friend. If you're a peer, you're a peer. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not rushing to call you friend, right? And so I think I don't have any beef. You're just not my friend, right? Like, let's do a thing together when we do a thing together and push it. So I think it has been tough though, because I'm also like, I don't want all my friends to be on the East Coast though, right? I'm on a different time zone. I'm a 5.5 hour flight away. Is
very different.
That 5 hour flight gets real.
I did it yesterday. I was like, ugh.
Blake, good luck. I'm telling you.
But that's why I'm like, people are like, you need to move out here. I'm not doing it. My people live in DC.
That's real.
I'm not going to be 5.5 hours away from my mama.
Most of my family is in DC, so I get it.
I'm not moving that far away from my mama.
But would you come out here for an extended stay?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm going to end up getting an apartment out here.
I think you're going to end up having to.
Because I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be booking things on Netflix.
I'm trying to be booking
not
things
scripted.
Too. Oh, not scripted.
No, I want to host everything.
Oh, okay.
I want to host every dating show known to man.
I used to want to be on a dating show.
Why?
I think just it seems like fun. Not a contestant though. I want to be the person they're like competing for.
Yeah, we'll unpack this.
I'm not fighting other people.
I can't wait to unpack this with you. Okay, so let's dig into that. So for those that don't know, because some people don't know, you do identify as a gay man.
I do.
People don't.
Very gay.
Trust me, ladies, I have asked if he is willing to consider others. He has said no. So at what age did you come out?
Such a convoluted question. What do you mean come out?
Like I guess that is a good question. To your family.
I'll walk you through. I came out unknowingly at 7. I don't think I've told this story publicly. Maybe I have. So I didn't know it was wrong when I was a kid. And so I had a crush on a boy in my first or second grade class. And I came home and told my parents because no one told me it was wrong to. So I was like,
well, that's a good thing, though.
You know what I mean? And so when they heard me say boy, I think I remember a little bit of energy in the room, but like not a big deal kind of vibe because the next semester or year at school, I liked the girl, right? So then maybe around 13, 14, I knew that I liked boys. I also didn't know what bisexuality was because no one talked about it, right? I knew what gay was because people would be called gay in terms of
course,
to be shamed. That's all I knew. So I was like, okay, I like boys, but I kind of like girls, but I felt like I'm just gay because I like boys. I didn't know what bi was. So I think I thought I was like just different for a while. Then around 17, 18, it was like, okay, we're gay. And then I think...
That's what we are.
Yeah, and then at 21, I had my first boyfriend in college, my senior year. Sorry to the girl I was dating senior year.
Gonna find out through this.
She knows I'm gay, of course, but I think she might not have known that I had a boyfriend while dating her. You know, guys, listen, it's a journey. So it's a journey. Sorry.
It's not linear.
Yeah, but sincerely sorry, though. I think our journey out of shame often involves other people. And I hate that it does, right? I hate that it happens, but it just kind of is par for the course. And I told my dad, we were watching TV. I grabbed the remote and I cut it off. And I was like, I like guys. And I cut the TV back on. And he grabs the remote and he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm gay. Cut the back on. He's like, are you playing? Are you serious? So we're having this back and forth. And yeah, that was what started the journey. Once my dad knew, he was my one. Most gay guys have that one. But once you tell that person, he was my one. And I think that was when I started to love on me a little bit more. And then I told my grandmother, and old school, I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about. And when she accepted it, it was like, okay, yeah. And that was like 2018-ish, 2019-ish. Then I went to the public with it. I went to social media with it in 2020 during the pandemic. I made a video saying I was gay, and then here we are.
So it's so interesting that your Black father reacted like that. So I have a trans sister who came out as gay. At the time, he was 16.
Yeah.
Came out as trans, maybe 23, 24.
Okay.
And my dad is that person for Bryce too. And I think that there is this shift, this beautiful shift of Black men who just want their children to be happy.
Yeah.
Because I think much like your dad, number one, it wasn't a shock. The closet was made of glass. Like, we were all just kind of like, yeah, we figured as much. Now, the trans thing was, of course, a different transition, but it has been so beautiful. And I think I revere my father in such a greater light because of his reaction to Bryce. So I'm asking you this because you're a coach.
Come on.
That Black fathers particularly can be more, because I will say, in most of the cases that I have seen, my Black gay male friends, their fathers have been more accepting than their mothers have been.
I think there's this weird... And I'm using weird loosely, about this interesting association with sexuality within the Black community. A lot of it has to do with socioeconomic status and your ability to attain work. I think as it relates to Black women, there sometimes is this, when it comes to heterosexual Black men, there's a shortage.
Yeah.
And so I think there's this a little bit of energy around prominent or well-to-do gay Black men who feel like once have been options. And so I think you're seeing a surgence of Black women who feel a way about these eligible but not eligible, strong, Black, well-to-do, attractive, whatever that looks like, men. And I think mothers often have a specific trajectory for their sons, right? Who they want their sons to be, the boyfriends they never had, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And so it becomes heavily disappointing. Where I think with dads, it's more rooted in masculinity than anything else. I don't think it's about sexual orientation as much as it's like, are you going to be the son I need you to be, whether it's in size and stature and energy and in character.
Wow. Well, so all of this happens. You come out.
Yep.
And then you created a beautiful space.
Yeah, thank you.
For the LGBTQ community through YouTube specifically.
Yes.
What was that process like and that journey like? And now it has seemed to, it keeps evolving.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Just very.
Yeah.
I think I also didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I think in 2019 came out socially, and when pandemic happened, I was like, I wasn't done. I wanted to keep exploring. I'm not done. And so I was like, well, how can I continue to explore? Let me just build a small community on YouTube, nothing too big, whatever. And I was just talking about bisexuality or like just being in a closet or being assumed as straight.
Yep.
But then each week it felt like more and more and more people were just coming and coming and coming. And then it became a thing. And then I did 99 episodes. And yeah, so it was just like every Wednesday at noon, we were unpacking a new thing. And it was a really, really beautiful space that was created. But I think I stopped it last year because I didn't have enough time to like just be gay. The second I came into my truth, I was exploring.
What does that
gay.
look like? What do you mean by that?
Just flow. Go on dates. Just
right,
be a gay person. Not explore it, not intellectualize it, not studio it, not host it, but just be gay. And I think this last year I took the time to just be gay. Like however that looked, however that showed up, whatever it manifested into where I dressed, who I talked to, who I hung out with. I just wanted to be gay versus like holding the torch for black gay men or masculine black gay men or attractive gay, or, you know, whatever. It was like, I just want to be myself.
Is there something that you've discovered about yourself through this exploration in the past year that you didn't expect to discover or find?
Heck yeah. I think I'm a lot more traditional than I thought I was. You know, you never know. Because you know, when you're built in like a closet, you just know who you have to be.
Yes.
And so it's hard to know, is this who I want to be for real, or is this who I thought I have to be?
So define traditional in your sense.
I want a family. You know, the streets are cute, don't get me wrong. It is what it is. But like, I want a family. I want the whole thing. I want the kids. I really do. And not just because I want to mimic straightness, but I just really want that to be a thing for me, you know?
It is a shame that the family unit, though, has become associated with only something that heterosexual people can do or sustain with love or do properly.
Yeah. And I think because it's a little more difficult for us to do it, that feels like us giving ourselves grace.
I know a lot of dysfunctional heterosexual homes.
I was raised in one, so no shade. Sorry, parents.
I know a lot of dysfunctional heterosexual. It is no indicator.
But I think it's just easier for straight people to have kids.
It is.
Because you can have kids on accident.
You can just do it.
Yeah. And where we have our good times, don't really create kids.
Just fun. Just good fun. I wish I could just good fun it for my whole life. And, you know, speaking of you kind of exploring gay, you just walked your first ball.
I did.
Which I love for you.
Thank you.
Was it something you planned to do when you got there?
No.
They grabbed you.
Like, I was there in support, just in, what was even the event? No, it was Native Son Awards weekend.
Ah, okay. You know, I love Emil. I adore Emil so bad. Shout out to Emil,
just a phenomenal person. Like, so he curated this safe space. We're having a good time.
No way.
The House of Basquiat hosted this ball. The guy who was one of Beyonce's dancers was there. He's hosting it. And they called the category for realness. And mind you, I don't even know the categories. I know a few. You know, we all know like Face. Of course. We know Runway. We know Vogue. So I'm like, just chilling. The girl's on the mic. She's like, if you got on all black and can like do it, just come out here. So I had on all black and everybody's like, Obio. So my boy gives me this nudge into the runway. So I'm like,
go.
Right. So I'm like, let me put on my best straight boy vibe I have. So I'm giving you like, you
gave straight boy.
So I was like giving as best way I could. So I won the first round. I get my 10s. And you know, you have to battle the other person who wins his round.
I know you were like, wow.
How do you battle? So I'm like,
how do you out straight another? And neither of y'all are straight.
And that was the capacity I had. So at that point, I stood there looking a fool and lost. I mean, he's giving it. He's like, you know, at the judge is doing it.
And you just like, it's not.
I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm kind of just like,
that's okay. I'm
about to get chopped.
But you did it.
Here we are.
In the just flowing through being gay. You just did it.
And I think I've just released all resistance. And I think not even just for LGBTQ plus people, but I really hope that everybody gets an opportunity in their life where they can just release resistance to whatever the thing you think you're supposed to do, whoever you're supposed to be, release the resistance because you're going to unlock so much of what's for you. Because we don't really have a lot of say-so in what's for us. We think we do, but we don't.
We don't.
And the second you release, like, I'm about to just stop fighting against
whatever.
And just let myself float. And that's what I've been doing.
So as you float, women, the reaction that you get from women on social media, I haven't gone through all of your comments, but it seems bigger and larger and more prevalent than the reaction you get from men.
For sure.
This is a safe space because I remember when you posted the video, you were like, I am gay. And I responded and I said, well, let me know if you change your mind. And it got almost 2,000 likes.
Okay.
I want an honest answer. When you do see all of these women swooning over you, what does that actually feel like? Because I think that we see it as a joke.
Yes.
I want to be conscious of the fact that maybe you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't want us.
No, I love it.
Oh, okay.
Because I do. I think it does more good when it's done well versus bad. In my opinion, we're showing that like orientation is irrelevant to attraction. Like, and usually it's like that, right? Like, you don't have to want to have sex with me to say you are fine. Like, you are an attractive person. And I hope that this also sends a message to straight guys. Like, you can find other people attractive that you don't want to have sex with.
Yes. And it's not this scary thing.
It's not this spooky thing. I have a lot of straight friends who are really attractive, and I can say that without wanting to take you to bed. Big dog, I promise it's not that deep. Now, there are some women who take it too far, right? There are women who say, what a waste of sperm. Stuff like that is a little irritating a little bit.
Yeah, that's... we're
going far, right?
Yeah, what do you mean?
We're losing the plot a little bit, girl. But I think...
That's like where are we? Okay.
But I think as find somebody attractive or in some of the comments
But like you
funny.
said, I think it goes back to the point that you made earlier where you said that women see it as a direct threat to the heterosexual male pool that we are dealing with right now, but that is not your fault.
And most women have probably dated a guy who was closeted. Let's just be honest here. A lot of women have dated a guy who was navigating it a little bit. So I think there becomes a little bit
resentment.
Of like... Exactly. And again, I apologize on behalf of the guys who have been in there.
What did Rihanna say to you? She told you was fine?
She did.
I know she told you he was fine. I could tell by the way she was looking at you. I was like, Rihanna told him he was fine too. Did you tell her she was fine?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Just two fine people looking at each other, exchanging words.
She was so down to... I mean, everybody says this about her, but I was surprised how down to earth.
She really is. She really is.
Just like, what's up? Like, cool girl vibe, just like chilling, living in her skin.
So what's your type?
Guys? Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, so... It's getting confusing. Plot twist.
I just asked you.
I just
asked you.
I like...
Yes, what is your type?
I like... And everybody gets mad at me because I rarely say physical attributes, but I'll say physical here.
Okay.
I like a bright-eyed boy, man. I think bright-eyed men are just really, really attractive to me.
Okay.
And when I say bright-eyed, I mean... You guys know what bright eyes are? Like, bright eyes. Like
somebody who looks almost like... young and excited. You're bright-eyed.
You think so?
I would almost say
I think
that
I have
you're
like
bright-eyed.
heavy eyes, no? Well, like
we both have those big.
But see, you have like brighter eyes than me. Like your eyes are like
they are big,
like
and
glistening eyes. I like a glisten to their eye. I don't know.
That is, I have never heard anybody say that. But
it's specific too. But I really like eyes that look like that. I don't know where that comes from. But
so is that someone who looks happier, like has a happier disposition?
Maybe just like a joyous
disposition. Okay,
exactly. I like some body on you.
Oh, you like a little booty.
Not a little one though. Praise God.
You want some A's.
I mean, I need us to be a wagon that you're dragging. Amen.
I love it.
I love a kind person.
Me too.
I think kindness is so attractive. It's going to reel me in before
I only
else.
just started liking kindness very recently.
What do you like? Like mean?
I think I did. I think there was this edge that I was very attracted to. And I think once you go through it and you understand what the edge from most of these men come from, and you're on the backside of what that looks like, you realize edge is not really... Now, be clear. I think that also comes from... I have a really kind father who was raised in the hood. So I think that I like that just... I'm not doing this. We're not actually... We're going to cut this.
Gets on my nerves.
We're going to cut this.
I want us to acknowledge...
No, please. I know where this is going.
Just for 5 seconds. 2 seconds.
I know where this is going.
3 seconds.
Here we go.
Can we get 2 seconds or 3? Come on. Give me which one?
2.
Blake's dad. Hi. How are you? I just want to say hi. I mean, just like the mom and her taste. Good mom. Wow. Mom. Wow.
Oh, get me out of here.
Hey, Mom.
This is why I don't like posting that man on Father's Day. I don't like posting him on his birthday.
I don't know why you would do that.
Every single time I post him, I have to post a disclaimer. I'm not doing this.
That is a blessed man there.
He's a married man. A happily married man of 32 years.
And I'm not even crushing as much as I'm like admiring. I want to look just like... We're around the same height, right?
Yes.
I want to look just like your dad.
He's 6'4", 6'5".
I want to look
and he's
just
almost
like him
60 years old.
I want to look exactly like him.
My parents have aged really well. I can give them that. But your father is a very attractive man.
Thank you.
But you see what happens when you're not homophobic or transphobic? You see the way you age?
Come on now. Huh?
You see the way that you age when you are not those things?
I'll shout right now.
Okay. So, you're a coach.
Life coach, yeah.
A life coach. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Because I think in this day and age,
yeah,
particularly now that TikTok exists, a lot of people can call themselves coaches.
For sure.
So for you, what does being a life coach look like?
A lot of people can call themselves coaches. I think ethically calling yourself a coach requires some sort of certification, which is what I have. But my books are actually closed, sorry. But the difference between a coach and like a psychologist or a therapist is we actually tell you what to do, right? Like my therapist doesn't tell me what to do. They just give you the tools
and you kind of navigate it. Yep.
And so the stark difference is I tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I listen to what you do. I give you plans and I give you things to do to help you along wherever that goal set is. It's not so much about just your emotions and a dump for your emotions. It's more about like what problems are you experiencing and how do we get you to the goal?
So this is going to be such a inflated question. How healed are you?
Ooh. I think healing is a journey, right?
It is. It's not linear.
One.
Yep.
But I will say, I think in different seasons of my life, I'm welcoming new things that I may need to heal from. Does that make sense? And so most recently, I forgave my mother. We've had a strenuous relationship for my entire life. And for the past few years, we haven't spoken at all. And what was interesting was I know I was going to see her this past week. I went back home and I was just over having that energy. I don't know if you guys ever had like a tiff between someone, but it's always heavy, right? Like, what energy do I give you? How do I be cold towards you? How do I like be standoffish?
You walk into it planning how, we'll talk offline, I'm planning for tomorrow. I'm like, how do I plan to be mean, nasty, to let you know I don't fuck with you?
And also stick it to you, right?
Yep.
Like, and I become braggadocious, whatever those things are. And I was just over that. And so I had this long prayer session with myself and God, and I was just like, I want to release it. And in prayer, like God just kind of reminded me, how much do I give to you that you don't deserve? So why are you so hell-bent on giving this person what they deserve to me? So in my mind, I was like, I'm going to let go of trying to stick it to you and just be who I am, which is a good person, a kind person. And I'm going to pass that to you. And that's what it was. And so that was so healing for me. I was able to forgive myself for things I didn't know I was holding on to and forgiving my mother.
How long does that look like? So I think that healing can be so long. And I say that from the sense of from the time you decided to enter into prayer about the situation to action.
But I've been praying on this for forever.
Okay.
Right? And so I think and that prayer was the bow that broke, right? That was like the okay.
Yep.
But I think I have been trying to forgive my mom since I was 10. You know, we're not going to get into the whole bit, right? But like this person was not the kindest towards me, not the most warm, all the things. And so the little boy in me, I think, just could not forgive her. But the man in me
wanted to,
that the little boy endured to become, had to give her that because it gave me that.
So how does your dad pick up that slack? Because it seems like that's
my dog,
your person.
And I think even for our parents, right, I think it becomes tough where my mom and dad were together. So although my dad didn't do the same behavior, in my mind, he allowed it. So now I'm like, not to resent you for not sticking up for me or whatever it looks like, but also knowing that you did what you had with the capacity that you had.
Yeah.
Like whether it was like a little, I'm sorry, whether it was like the little like, it'll get better or you'll be all right. Like those kind of things were so cathartic for me as a kid and it kept me going. And I always say that this may sound not the most politically correct to say, but being gay kind of saved my life. Just because I was always navigating something else. I didn't have time to really fully be here because I was already navigating the shame of being queer and liking boys and trying to figure that out. That I didn't have time to even recognize the abuse in the house. I was just like trying to figure out what's going on with my body. And I didn't have time to really, really resonate with what was going on in my household.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it did save your life, but that is just so heavy for a child to grow into a man and have to sort through.
But this society charges most young gay boys to do that.
Yeah.
When most young gay boys find out they like the same gender, your life, your childhood gets rocked. You're now super self-conscious, more so than anybody else who's going through puberty. You're really mindful of where you're going, how you're looking, who's assuming, who can see you, what they peeped, and it becomes so heavy.
It didn't even compare to the heaviness in the home.
Come on. Literally. Welcome to America.
Well, not to keep getting heavy, but you recently tweeted about radically choosing yourself. You had said that you were in a place where you just had to radically choose yourself. I can only imagine that it was the move to LA. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now you said that you are in that position again. I don't want to bust out your tweets, but I'm like, what does that mean?
You know when you make those big moves and you're like, okay, boom.
I've done it.
I'm quitting my job in 2022. It's been, 2 years. I'm like, oh my God, I quit my job with no money, just on a whim. And that was a hard thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've done the hard thing. I'm done. Why is that another
thing?
And you know, and so I think now I'm getting back comfortable because I'm also launching a series soon. And and I'm getting back comfortable with being disagreed with, being misunderstood. I think what they don't tell you about popularity is I was ready to be disagreed with, right? That's happened. I was ready to be judged. That happened. I wasn't really ready to be lied on, though. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really ready for the lies.
Woo!
Right? And so that's the part that's been like, I don't know if I want to be as public. I don't want to keep talking because I don't want to be lied on. I don't like the whole, like, he said this or I met him here and this and that. None of that happened.
Let me tell you, I was in an appointment. I'm not going to say which appointment. You know, y'all know I get a lot of things done.
Okay.
And somebody told me that a girl came in and said Blake was not nice to me when I met her. And I'm like, so that's objectively false.
Okay.
That is objectively false. I'm not just not nice to people. Mm-hmm. And it continues to bother me.
I get it.
Because it's like you said, the lying piece. I'm cool with the girls not liking me. Me not being a cup of tea.
Yeah, you hate my shoes. I'm fine with that.
You don't like how I dress.
Yeah,
you don't like how
I
talk.
I'm cool.
When it became Blake is... That is, and it's so small, it's so minuscule. But I know that that is objectively false because I'm not just mean to people. People don't say that. People can say a lot of things about me. I'm not just mean to people when I meet them, especially a girl who comes up to me and says,
hello, or
I follow
hi,
you on TikTok.
Yeah.
Hi. There's no instance where I ever remember. And to your point, that being lied on piece is something that I don't even know if I am fully ready for.
And it becomes weird and people take sound bites and take clips of things and kind of recreate what they want you to say. And I think I'm now at a point where I'm like having to radically decide that I'm just going to be myself. And it has to fall where it may. If you got it, you're my people. If you don't get it,
That's
I can't be consumed with that because it's going to keep me silent and I don't want to be silent.
But it is weird. And like I said, maybe you need to open your books for me. But... I do hang on to the fact that people will just lie.
For sure.
There doesn't have to be a basis. Somebody will wake up and just say, you know what, and on today.
And there's a group of people who don't need any credibility to believe the lie.
No.
That's what gets me. It's like, okay, this person lies fine, but then this group of people wants it to be true so bad that they're willing to believe it.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's so far from who I am.
What is, if you don't mind me asking, whatever you're comfortable sharing, what is a lie that you've heard about yourself?
People who can have dated me, who I've never met.
I've experienced that. But that was in college. Men always lie.
Like, I don't even know you. People are saying that we've had conversations that involve details that I've never had. I haven't really gotten like a negative interaction experience before. Women who have lied on me in some capacities about dating or about, you know, what they've seen of me. I've seen people's genitals that are not mine being proclaimed to be mine.
You've really reached fame.
No, not yet. Hopefully.
You've reached fame. They are staging genitals.
This is not mine. I promise y'all. And I say, oh, he did it. I'm like, I've seen mine. I see it every day.
Every day.
I promise. That's not him. I promise. It's just
now
not him.
that is a different level of lying.
And it's like... But then, like, what is the alternative? You can't be quiet. You have a message in your heart. You want to share it. And so it's like, I think, have just decided most recently that I'm going to be myself. Mm-hmm. And that's enough every single time. Mm-hmm. And
you mentioned that in 2022, you quit your job.
Yeah. Oof.
That switch to entrepreneurship is, it has turned me every way but loose.
So it looks good on you, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm happy I don't look like what I've been through. And I think that when I say that, you know, we do it because we see that the money can be better and all of those things, right? We look at the bottom line when we do it. For me, I did not consider the way that schedule is lost, routine is lost, and the way that factors into mental health.
Yeah.
For you, what has that shift been like?
Same.
Yeah.
But I think the only saving grace now is that stability for everybody, even my 9-to-5 people, is being robbed. Like, what is stability anymore? Like,
who has a job?
Like, it's just a wrap.
Everybody is unemployed.
It's just a wrap, right? But I think, and probably similarly for you, each job is the job.
Yeah.
It's cute if you get a contract for a few months, but like each job is the job.
I don't eat what I don't kill.
So like after this is over, I got to go find the next job. Because if not, there's not a job here. Like, it's not like 2 weeks of the check coming in. This was the job.
Yeah, and now I have to find another one.
So that's the part that's a little bit jarring. But I think the amount of faith required.
It is. I spoke on a podcast and they were like, how did you know that you could do it? And I didn't want to sound head ass because I want to be clear. I am not the girl that's going to tell you quit your job. Especially not my full-time friends. I'm like, don't go quitting your job. Do not. Secretly do the deal on the side. Do not quit your job. Like whatever you do, don't quit your job.
Yeah.
But I said on a podcast, I just knew that it was going to be me that could do it. I just knew. But that takes this faith.
What's in that? I just knew.
I'm sure you've experienced this, or I can only assume because you're a star.
Oh, stop.
I just think that even from a young age, there has always been something in me that knew that like we are destined for something really, really big. And I don't know what it looks like. And every single time, I tell people all the time, I hit my glass ceiling at 27. The job that I thought was going to be my last job, I always said I wanted to be a beauty director of a major magazine. I did it at 27.
Work.
26.
Work.
And so I think that when God has continued to prove, not just that it works out, but that it works out exponentially. I think I was finally in the place where I believed it. I think God has been telling me my whole life that I'm going to work it out exponentially, but I think I was finally in the place where I was like, God always works out things exponentially. Not just works it out.
But what was that like as you were climbing? Was there any parts in which you didn't believe that?
Yeah, there's still parts.
And how do you get back on the track, I guess is my question.
That's still the navigation of it. I was actually telling another guest, I was like, people tell me all the time how proud they are of me, and I feel so stagnant right now in my career. Like what people see, I feel a standstill. Like I am dissatisfied with where I am right now in my career. Whereas everybody's like, you're doing all of the things. You're everywhere. This is exactly what I want to do. But people like us, Black overachievers, it's never enough.
Have you defined what success is for you? Do you know what that looks like?
So, my mother's going to be like, I told you so. I, like you, how you said that you discovered the traditional piece, I think that my success is rooted in family. And I don't think that I will ever be able to fulfill it through career.
Like creating your own.
Creating my own. And I think that I am succeeding so much that I'm like, I keep thinking that once I hit the next level, it's going to make me feel better. And I'm happy. I want to be clear. I love where I'm at. I am so blessed. I feel so warm. Like, I love it. But I keep thinking that this hole that I think is going to be filled by professional success is actually the hole that I want to be filled by family.
Do you ever think that professional success is getting in the way of family?
You sound like my mother, okay? And on that note, I can switch questions.
Okay, cool.
Because I will not be attacked on my podcast. I think my thing has always been this, right? I grew up around Black women, married Black women, right? Okay. Upper middle class, married Black women. Because I think putting the socioeconomic class on it matters.
For sure.
Who have always told me, you got to find the man. You got to find the man. You got to find the man. Who have told me when my career started to grow, I'm so proud of you. I love all that you're doing, but you need to slow down because you need to find a man. And we never tell men that. Yeah. We never tell men that they need to slow down. And so there's so much in my life. I've never said this publicly. This one time I was moving into this college dorm, 3 other girls. It's this really cool, you're from the DMV, UTC is out in Hyattsville. But how it works is everybody has a room and a bathroom and separate lease agreements. So me and 3 other girls moved in. And they were like, well, whoever gets the last room, because it's the biggest, is going to have to pay the most in rent. I did it because I was like, yeah, my boyfriend will be over. I did not have a man, nothing. My entire life for so long has been in preparation for a man.
Okay.
And I think this is the first time in my life that I am operating.
That's big.
Where I'm like, he might come, he might not. And so I think, but this is the first time that I really, really want it for the right reasons. Not just so that I can say I have a man. Yeah. But for true partnership and companionships.
Yeah, I hate that we tell people in general, but more specifically Black women, don't do too much because you got to leave a little pocket for men.
I've had people say, don't post too much because it'll intimidate a man. Don't post all the things that you're doing.
But who wants an intimidated man?
That's gross.
I don't want it. If you're intimidated, be that.
I want a man who will be the president of my fan club.
Hello.
I just haven't met him yet, but I do think that a lot of the anxiety that I've been experiencing has been around not even being close to that family unit.
It's coming.
Oh, he coming.
But you got to think about the things that
he gonna look like you. He gonna be fine as you. He gonna be 6'5". He gonna be kind. He gonna have a good job.
I know that's right. Well, I don't have a good job, but praise God. I have good jobs.
He's only eating what he kills right now.
Okay, but at some point we'll get some.
Oh wait, you have a brother though.
I do have a brother.
Is he straight?
He is straight. Yeah, he's 3 years older. He went to Howard as well.
Is he in a relationship?
He is.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I would never. Is she a Black queen?
She's Black. Yeah.
I would never disrespect a Black queen. So, with all due respect, sis, I don't want you. I had to ask because I know that you had posted a video of him once because people were like, "Do you have a brother?"
It was him. Yep.
How has he felt about your journey? Watching your journey.
We didn't really talk about it much. When he moved back to DC, he stayed there, and we just didn't really see him much. And so I ended up having to call him and coming out to him. And I called him and told him I was gay. I think he had a little bit of energy about it for a little while. And then after that, we just kind of became...
He was like, whatever.
But I also feel like, and this is a necessary additive, I didn't give anybody room to accept or reject me. I was telling you a fact. This wasn't
Let's discuss it.
Yeah, there wasn't a communal experience. This is my reality that I wanted to share with you. This wasn't your time to tell me anything outside of okay or whatever that looked like. But I wasn't looking for you to be like, and again, this is just Obio. I wasn't looking for this whole like, I accept you
of course.
for who you, like you can accept some of my bills if you want to, but outside of that, like, this wasn't what that was.
So do you experience anxiety?
Yeah.
You do.
Have you seen Inside Out 2? Hey,
look at my next question.
I'll shout
look
right
at my
now.
next question.
I will shout right
Look at my next
here.
question. Have you seen Inside Out 2?
What are you talking about? Have I seen Inside Out 2? Blake, come on. That anxiety will get you.
It is the worst thing that I think I've ever experienced.
It's the most consistent thing I think I've experienced. Because much like the movie, if you haven't seen it, sorry.
Go see it.
What I think our anxiety is there to do is to protect us.
It is.
We think it is, at least. And so I'm the person, I will go to the end of it fast.
Oh, me too.
If I don't get this job, I'm not going to get any money. If I don't get any money, I'm going to be homeless. I'm homeless. I'm going to get on drugs. Like, I'm there. And so I'm like, and it's kept me, in my mind, safe. I was fooled into thinking my anxiety was keeping me safe, keeping me paid, keeping me consistent, keeping me on the up and narrow. But when I started to use that joy, I didn't come here to preach.
That's a consistent bitch. Joy is a consistent bitch. And she don't let up off it though. Joy doesn't let up off it. I had to watch one because I hadn't seen one. And she will climb mountains to make sure. But all that she has to do though, I've experienced late onset anxiety recently. I've always been anxious. Never almost debilitatingly until recently. I know social media has something to do with it.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
We also don't emote. So I think I've always been the strong friend who doesn't say anything, but I feel a lot. I'm a Gemini rising Cancer moon. It's a lot going on in there.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot happening. So there's a lot happening in here.
There's a lot happening. No, for sure. You wear it well.
So there's a lot happening here. It's the movie that I wish we had.
Period.
Just period.
I think it's so honest.
Yep.
And we think with the leaderboard of our emotions, and I've been asking myself since I saw one, like, who's at the forefront of my leaderboard in this season? You know, and I think even right now, I think joy is kind of at the forefront, but late last year, early this year, it was fear. Fear was running mine. I was afraid of everything.
And she's a manic bitch too.
Legitimately. And it's like, even moving here, we're leaving Atlanta. I owned a home in Atlanta. It was a very easy living. You know what I'm saying? Like, and moving to LA, which is more expensive. I had to downsize. There was so many realities, but I could have used fear.
Yeah.
Would have been easy. But at the same time, I'm not even using logic. I just want to use faith consistently because what I want is not even close to my reality right now, but I know that it don't got to be close to happen.
But how do you position your heart posture to take in faith, to lean on faith all the time?
I think we hear this often, but it's being delusional.
Delusional girls are the most successful
They're
girls.
winning. Because like your life can change legitimately in a blink of an eye. And I think also reminding myself that God don't need my help. I keep acting like I need to assist God in my blessings. And he need me to just be quiet. Hey, listen, you're in the way, kind of. Just move. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to be in my business, but I quit my job with no money. 2022.
That is ambitious.
Ambitious. And when God...
That is ambitious.
When God told me, and which is why I think obedience plays such a huge part of my life now. When God told me to leave that job, I left it. But I'm also like, hey, God...
What are we doing?
How are we leaving a job with no money? How that make sense? I just had to be on social media consistently, not making no money yet. Hey, God, what we doing?
What made you want to leave the job?
God
Besides God. So you like the job?
I mean, the job was okay.
It was just a job.
It's like, you get a job. You get a job, 9 to 5, making decent little money.
It's a job.
And mine, I wasn't making book. I made like $70,000 a year, maybe.
Oh,
and
so it wasn't some.
It wasn't like I was like a lawyer somewhere, like really making great money. So I was like, I'm not making the best money, but it was still money more than none. And God was like, leave. And I was like, okay. But I also had spent enough time with God. I think building relationship over religion. I spent enough time to know when you tell me to move, I can just move. I don't need confirmation. And so when I left, I booked a Just for Men campaign that was $7,500 at the time, which I thought was good bread.
Oh, my first $7,500 deal, I was like, I am rich.
What are you talking about?
I was like, I'm the world's biggest influencer.
The shots are on me.
What do you mean?
Who else would they be on?
And it hits at one time?
Like,
that $7,500 hit once.
What are you talking about? And that I wasn't even with an agency, so I really got like $7,500. I got my money. So I'm like,
untaxed. However, Uncle Sam will whack you over the fucking head.
But it wasn't even coming. And so I say all that to say, it doesn't need to be on the horizon for it to happen. So like with faith, it's not so much like, okay, this is looking good. It's like, no, like this is what I believe to be true. It's coming. I can operate and it's coming.
That takes a lot though.
No, it does. It takes practice. It takes patience. But at the end of the day, understanding that faith is always yours for the taking.
So you move here, like you said, you get this audition.
Yeah.
So that was all faith too. I have to assume.
Even now, I know that words have so much power.
Yeah.
So I'm the kind of person, I say this often, but I'm going to talk to the air. I'm going to just go in my apartment and be like, yo, this is what I want, or this is, speak it like it's happening.
Yep.
And I was like, in mind, I kept saying, I'm going to go here and just act. I don't know. I'm with LA. I'm just go get on the show. Got an email, sent in a self-tape.
Crazy. And they reached out to you.
Yeah. Said, hey, would you be willing to audition for this role? Blah, blah. And I'm like, sure, I'll audition. Why not? I put my little phone up. I did my little self-tape. No idea what a self-tape was. I knew what it was, but I never done one.
Right.
And I play like a character. I play like a guy in the gym. I don't know how to explain my character. You'll see on episode 5. But wait, that's what show it was? No, I'll tell you what show it was off of this. But
I'm so excited.
Yeah, but it's on Netflix. But again, I just know that who you are, and this person, I didn't grow with a lot of money. Who we become, in my opinion, is not a byproduct of a whole bunch of work. There's a whole bunch of people that put in a lot of work. I think what it is about an abundant thinking. It's about you expecting that thing to happen. And I think we think that it's going to be a byproduct of work, but a lot of it is our thoughts and centering those on what we actually want life to do for us. And I don't leave room for anything else.
Put that on a shirt. I don't leave room for anybody, anything else.
I don't. Like, this is what I want. I want to, and I think also our standards really do help us like stay on track with what we want for life. Like, I know I want to be a person who does this, has this, says this, goes here. There's no room. I don't even look at anything else. This is what I want to do.
So, acting.
Okay.
This was not what you initially wanted to do. So is this, now that you've done it, is this, you're like, I think that this is something that I want to do?
Yeah, book me. I mean, I didn't want to be an influencer, right? I didn't want to be a content creator. I didn't want to be, it's like I want to follow what brings me joy. And I'm open to things that I didn't know bringing me joy. I'm open to whatever brings me joy, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's an idea. I'm open to a hobby. I'm open to joy.
So as we wrap up, so the show is called According to Blake.
Okay.
But at the end, we have a segment, according to...
I love segments.
Obio.
Okay,
so according to Obio, long hair or short hair? Because you just got the hair.
On me or just...
On you.
Long hair. I like me with long hair.
Really?
It's more fun. This is so boring.
So we're growing it out?
We don't know.
It depends on what the director says.
Period.
Okay. So according to Obio, and I know that you haven't been here long.
Okay.
Atlanta, LA, or DC?
I'm going to go LA.
Really?
Already, yeah.
Okay, so what is it about LA that has you like,
Weather, events.
Yeah.
And this. I don't know what this is, but this.
I will say, I had seen somebody post this, shout out to my friend, he might know, but he said, New York has my heart, but LA has my nervous system. And so when you said that, when you said that flow.
It's very that.
And every time I am here, I feel a lot more like I'm chilling. I'm kind of like, I'm vibing. I'm here.
Man, until the bills come, you're
However,
like
this traffic.
Oof. I'm downtown though, so I can't relate. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that bad, but
getting outside, if it's not downtown, leave me out of it.
The parties tonight I'm going to 40 minutes away. Oof. And it's just West Hollywood.
Oof. Are you going to WeHo?
Yeah, I am.
Are we going to
I'll let you know what parties I'm going to.
I'm in the house.
Okay, well, okay. Maybe you'll reconsider. Okay, so according to Obio, meeting somebody online or meeting somebody in person?
In person. Serendipity. I need it.
Are you dating anybody?
Am I dating anybody? Yes.
My hopes and dreams have collapsed in front of me.
Yeah,
I am so sorry, gents and ladies. He's out the game.
Yeah.
You think you're really out the game?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that feel like to you? To meet somebody and say, I'm out the game. What does that feel like? What does that have to feel like?
It's like where fear and excitement collide. Does that make sense? It's like a little bit of like attachment brewing, but also I just really, really like you. So yeah, and that's where I'm at.
I'm sorry, guys. I adore you. Thank you.
Likewise, the feeling is so mutual.
I love you. You're just so fab. And tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, on social platforms, Obio, O Jones, everywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube space because I'm about to be back on there.
Yes.
You can find me on Netflix in January on the 5th episode of this show. I'm going to be releasing another series soon. And yeah, just keep it up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Follow him. All right.
Peace out.